Today we are going to look at have and have got, and why some people say have got to. First, we have to look at this. Have can be used either as a main verb or an auxiliary verb. There are two different uses here. They are actually two different verbs. There is the main verb have, and there is have that can be used as an auxiliary verb. Have as a main verb has several uses. The most important is the possessive have. For example, she has a dog. I have a nice home. He has 50 cents in his pocket. This is the main use of the verb have. It's called the possessive. Have can also be used as a main verb with other uses. Here are some examples. She has breakfast at 8 o'clock. I have a shower every morning. He is having a party on Saturday. Let's have a break. So in these sentences, you can see that it's very common to use have with very different meanings. And it often replaces other verbs. So she has breakfast means something like she eats breakfast. And we can say I have a shower or I take a shower every morning. So have, when it is a main verb, has many other uses apart from the possessive. But today we're going to look at the possessive form. Here is the possessive have in various forms. She has an apple. I don't have an apple. Do you have an apple? You can see here that the possessive have, as it is a main verb, it requires an auxiliary to make the negative form, I don't have an apple, or the question form, do you have an apple? So this is the possessive have used as a main verb. So, why do some people say she has got an apple? Actually, it is connected to the verb get in the present perfect. So if you imagine this situation, if you go to the shop to get an apple, in this case the verb to get is similar to buy an apple. So, go to the shop to get an apple. Now, when you return from the shop, you could use the present perfect form of the verb get and say, I have got an apple. You can see, both in appearance and in meaning, it's very similar to I have an apple. So instead of using have as the main possessive verb, I have an apple, many people started using the present perfect form of the verb get, and they say I have got an apple, because the meaning is almost the same. So let's look at the verb to get when it's in the present perfect. So in the affirmative, you could say she has got an apple. To make it negative, I haven't got an apple. And the question form, have you got an apple? So you can see when we're using this present perfect structure, the verb have is actually the auxiliary verb have, and get is the main verb. Let's compare the two forms. In the first form here, we can see the main verb is have, and we require the auxiliary verb do to make the negative and the question. She has an apple. I don't have an apple. Do you have an apple? In the second form, the main verb is get, and have, in this case, is an auxiliary verb. She has got an apple. I haven't got an apple. Have you got an apple? So both of these have the same meaning. The thing to remember is the first form can be adapted to various tenses, whereas the second form we only usually use in the present tense. Only use this in the present tense. If we look at the example of the past tense here, we can only say, she had an apple, I didn't have an apple, did you have an apple? So why do some people say, I have got to go? Where does that come from? Well, we've already seen that some people say, I have an apple. Some people say, I have got an apple. You can insert the word got in the sentence, and there is no difference in meaning. So people got accustomed to putting the word got after have. Now look at this obligation. I must go. I have to go. So you can see the second version here, I have to go, which means something very similar to I must go. People got accustomed to inserting the got after have, and they invented the structure, I have got to go. You can see the got in this sentence is not necessary, but people started to say, I have got to go. Then, when people speak very quickly, sometimes we omit the auxiliary verb have, and people start to say, I got to go. If we say it very quickly, I gotta go. And that is why people say, I have got to go. So I hope that video explained a few things to you. I gotta go now, and hopefully see you in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you've got any comments or questions, put them down below. See you in the next video.